Here's a take nobody will ever disagree with. The main cast of Family Guy should be on death row. Peter caused massive murders and hospital bombings. Quagmire drugs women and gets away with crimes that would ruin anyone else. Stewie's tried to destroy the world countless times. These people are monsters. They get punished for it, they even die, but they never stay dead. Cutaway gags send them to the morgue, but then they're back in the next episode like nothing happened. Today, we're looking at a few people who actually deserved to die, died, and thankfully stayed dead. Diane Simmons spent years as the co-anchor of Quahog 5 News alongside Tom Tucker. She seemed like a normal television personality with a sharp tongue and a competitive streak, but underneath that professional exterior was a woman slowly building toward a complete breakdown. Her real name was Diane Simmons, and she had dreams of being more than just a local news anchor. She made pretentious student films in college. She tried to star in a local production of The King and I before Peter's script changes turned her character into a cybernetic assassin, and she quit. She even hosted her own talk show called Diane that humiliated the Griffin family by exposing their secrets on national television. But Diane's real problems started when she turned 40 years old. On her birthday, Tom Tucker orchestrated her replacement at the news desk with a younger woman. The same day, her boyfriend James Woods dumped her. In one moment, she lost her career and her relationship. That's when Diane snapped. In the two-part episode, And Then There Were Fewer, Diane invited a group of people to James Woods' mansion under the guise of a dinner party. But this wasn't a celebration. Diane had murder on her mind. Diane planned to murder James Woods with a gun set on a timer, but it went off too soon and shot Stephanie by mistake. To keep control of the chaos, Diane later stabbed Woods herself. When Muriel Goldman realized what was happening, Diane stabbed her to stay hidden. She murdered Derek Wilcox by striking him with a Golden Globe and pushing him off the balcony to stop him from getting help. After Priscilla saw her with a bloody knife, Diane slit her throat to silence her. And through all this, Diane was framing Tom Tucker by planting evidence to make him look like the killer. Her plan almost worked. She confessed everything to Lois Griffin and raised a gun to murder her and tie up the last loose end. No, I don't think so. Oh my god, it was you! You're the killer! But Stewie was watching through a sniper's scope. He pulled the trigger and Diane went flying off a cliff to her death. Lois begged her before her demise, but Diane consoled her. Well, it's a shame that you have to die, Lois, but look on the bright side. You'll be a story on the 6 o'clock news. You know, unless a local cat does something funny. Diane Simmons deserved exactly what she got. Workplace discrimination and heartbreak are real problems that can cause real pain, but nothing justifies turning your personal grievances into a body count. She murdered innocent people to cover her tracks and showed zero remorse for any of it. Stewie delivering the fatal blow might be the only heroic thing he's ever done. But Diane murdered for revenge. The next person on our list almost took someone's life simply because he enjoyed causing pain. Jeffrey Fcklman was the boyfriend of Brenda Quagmire, Gwen Quagmire's sister, and he was one of the most purely evil characters Family Guy's ever created.
You fat, ugly bitch!
Jeff was an abuser in every sense of the word. He beat Brenda constantly, he gave her black eyes that she tried to hide behind sunglasses even when she was indoors. He screamed at her loud enough for the entire neighborhood to hear. He struck her during his tirades without any hesitation or remorse. The episode Screams of Silence, the story of Brenda Q, is one of the darkest Family Guy has ever produced. It shows the horror of living with someone who hurts you and the psychological damage that keeps victims trapped in abusive relationships. Brenda defended Jeff no matter what he did. She made excuses for his behavior. When she found out she was pregnant, she agreed to marry him despite everything. Quagmire watched his sister get destroyed by this man and couldn't do anything about it because Brenda wouldn't leave. Things escalated when Lois organized an intervention at Quagmire's house. Jeff burst in, announced the pregnancy and wedding, and later justified his violence to anyone who questioned it. He didn't see anything wrong with what he was doing.
And they're gonna send all the inmates to Congress. I don't get that one!
Peter, Joe, and Quagmire decided to take matters into their own hands. They lured Jeff on a fake midnight hunting trip with the intention of murdering him. But Jeff was smarter than they expected. He knocked out Peter and Joe with the butt of his shotgun. He dragged Quagmire deeper into the woods. He beat him senseless and strangled him. Believing Quagmire was dead, Jeff grabbed a shovel to bury the body, but that was a mistake. Quagmire's long history of autoerotic asphyxiation had made him pretty much immune to strangulation. As Jeff was digging the grave, headlights turned on. Quagmire was behind the wheel of Peter's car.
I choke myself every day, you bastard.
Jeff's back was against a tree. There was nowhere to run. Quagmire floored the gas pedal and crushed Jeff between the bumper and the trunk. Jeffrey Fcklman deserved every ounce of pain he received in that moment. His entire existence was dedicated to hurting someone who loved him. He escalated to attempted murder without a second thought. In the real world, abusers like Jeff destroy lives and often face no consequences. The show gave audiences the cathartic ending that too many victims never get to see. Jeff was a monster who hurt people because he could, but our next entry was a monster who wanted to destroy everything that existed. Bertram was Stewie Griffin's half-brother, conceived when Peter donated sperm that accidentally ended up impregnating someone else. From the moment he appeared, Bertram was basically an evil version of Stewie. Same genius-level intelligence, same megalomaniac tendencies, but without any of the weird charm that makes Stewie entertaining. Their rivalry started before Bertram was even born. In a Mission Impossible, Stewie traveled inside Peter's body to prevent a new sibling from being conceived. He encountered Bertram as a sperm cell, and they fought a microscopic battle that ended with Stewie sparing his life. That was a mistake. Bertram grew up harboring an obsessive hatred for Stewie. They clashed repeatedly over playground dominance and competing bids for world domination. Stewie always came out on top, which only made Bertram angrier. In The Big Bang Theory, Bertram took his hatred to the ultimate extreme. He discovered that Leonardo da Vinci was one of Stewie's ancestors. If he murdered da Vinci in the past, Stewie would never be born. The whole timeline leading up to his birth would be erased. Stewie would simply cease to exist. Here's the thing. Bertram knew that deleting da Vinci wouldn't just erase Stewie, it would unravel the entire fabric of reality. The universe itself would be destroyed. Everything and everyone would be gone, and Bertram said it was worth it.
On television now? No. In the past 20 years? Yes. Is it Richard Mulligan? Yes.
Yes, he time-traveled to Renaissance Italy and actually succeeded in murdering Leonardo da Vinci. Reality started collapsing, but Stewie followed Bertram through time with a crossbow and put a bolt through Bertram's skull before he could finish the job. Bertram was willing to destroy the entire universe just to win a sibling rivalry. That level of petty hatred is almost impressive in how insane it is. He wasn't just a villain, he was an omnicidal maniac who would have ended all of existence over a grudge. Stewie did this to stop a toddler with a god complex from destroying everything. Bertram threatened the universe itself, but our next entry just made life miserable for everyone around him. Francis Griffin was Peter's stepfather, and he was absolutely awful in every way a person can be awful. Francis was a devout Irish Catholic who used his religion as a weapon against everyone who didn't meet his impossible standards. He hated Lois because she wasn't Catholic. He hated her even more because of her German heritage. He taped derogatory signs at Peter and Lois's wedding. He hit Brian with a Bible for being an atheist. His treatment of Peter was relentless emotional abuse disguised as tough love. Francis criticized everything Peter did. He called him stupid, he called him worthless, he made Peter feel like garbage every single time they interacted. Even on his deathbed, Francis couldn't help himself. His final words to Peter were, "Peter, come closer. There's something I need to say to you." "I'm here, Dad. What is it?" "Peter, you're a fat, stinking drunk." That's the kind of man Francis was. He had decades to build a relationship with his stepson, and he spent every single one of those decades tearing Peter down. He claimed to love Peter while treating him with open contempt. The contradiction never seemed to bother him. Francis Griffin's death was an accident, but it felt like karma for a lifetime of cruelty and intolerance. His constant judgment poisoned every family gathering, his bigotry made him impossible to love, and his death allowed Peter to finally discover his real father and move forward without that shadow hanging over him. Francis made everyone around him miserable, but our final entry hurt one specific person in a way that destroyed an entire family. Loretta Brown was Cleveland's wife and mother of Cleveland Jr. She wasn't a serial murderer or an abuser or a universe-threatening maniac. Her crime was simpler than that. She cheated on her husband with his neighbor. And she was also annoying and abusive, so everyone hated her. The cheating was just the final straw. In the Cleveland-Loretta quagmire, Cleveland discovered that Loretta was having an affair with Glenn Quagmire. The revelation destroyed their marriage. They divorced, and Loretta took the house while Cleveland was left to raise their son alone.
I'm a woman, Cleveland. I need some passion in my life. I need a real man, and Lord knows that ain't you.
Loretta claimed she cheated because Cleveland was too emotionally distant. She said he lacked passion and didn't make her feel wanted. Those might be legitimate complaints in a marriage, but cheating isn't the answer to communication problems. After the divorce, Loretta showed little remorse for what she had done. She was spiteful during the asset division. Rumors suggested she slept with various Quahog figures, including Mayor Adam West, Ollie Williams, and others. Whether those rumors were true or not, her reputation in town wasn't exactly stellar. Loretta died in the episode Gone with the Wind when Peter accidentally dropped a brontosaurus skeleton on her house. The impact knocked her out of the bathtub, and she fell to her death with a broken neck.
Oh, God. Wait, what's that? Oh, look at her gross boobs.
It was a parody of the running gag where Cleveland falls out of his bathtub during various disasters.
I can't feel my legs!
Welcome to the party, pal.
No, wait, there they are.
Here's the thing. Loretta probably didn't deserve to die. Cheating is wrong, selfish and hurtful and destroys trust, but infidelity isn't a death penalty offense. Loretta wasn't evil, she was just a flawed person who made terrible choices that hurt someone who loved her. Her death felt more like the show needed closure for Cleveland's storyline than actual justice being served. It was ironic, and it was funny in a dark way, but it wasn't earned the same way the other deaths on this list were earned. Still, her actions had consequences that rippled through multiple characters' lives. And in the world of Family Guy, sometimes that's enough to get you taken away. Now, here's what frustrates me about Family Guy. The characters we just talked about are dead and gone, but the main cast has done way worse and never faces any real consequences. Quagmire's a serial predator. He drugs women, he does things that would land anyone in prison for decades, but he just keeps on giggitying through life without a scratch. Herbert the Pervert is exactly what his name says. He stalks Chris and other boys all the time. The show plays it for laughs, but if you actually think about what he's doing, it's terrifying.
Boy, you got here just in time.
Stewie's murdered people, tortured people, and tried to take over the world more times than we can count. But because he's a baby and the show resets everything, he never pays for any of it.
Ah, damn it! Ah, there's glass in my eye! Oh, son of a bitch! Ah!
Mom says dinner's at 6.
Peter's committed mass murder, arson, assault, and even hospital bombings. His stupidity is treated like an excuse for everything. No matter how many people he hurts, he's back to normal by the next episode.
Evelyn?
Brian acts like he's better than everyone while doing hit and runs, fraud, and worse. He actually died once, but fan backlash was so bad, the show brought him back almost right away. Carter Pewterschmidt has hidden cancer cures, bribed government officials, and caused disasters that hurt thousands of people. His money keeps him untouchable.
Can I feel those boobs?
No, Daddy, what are you, sick?
Hey, it's a different time.
So, why do these characters survive while Diane, Jeff, Bertram, and Francis stay dead? Simple. The show needs them. They're too important to the formula to be taken away for good. But it does feel unfair when smaller villains get the ultimate punishment while the main cast skates by on plot armor. If you want to see more satisfying comeuppances, check out our video on every person who deserved to die in South Park. Trust me, Matt and Trey deliver justice with a twisted flair that makes Family Guy look tame.
Oh, don't y'all drink that. You's gonna get sick.
Yep.